Hey guys, welcome back to Conquer Fitness, the ectomorphic workout. Today we're going to have a video covering the science and art of muscle building. So this is going to go over the physiology and anatomy of what goes on inside during the process of muscle repair, muscle growth, and what happens during your workout, after, in between, the whole process that you can't actually see. So we're going to give you an idea of how your muscles actually do grow and what the restrictions are and the benefits, and yeah, this should be really exciting, so let's go! Okay, so in today's video, the two main categories we're going to cover are going to be the physiological and mechanical aspect of muscle growth. You know what? It's a really nice day outside. Let's get a change of scenery. Let's go outside and continue from there. All right, we are now outside. We can now officially talk science. Okay, so to start with, I said we're gonna go over the physiology aspect of muscle growth. So when you're working out, your body is basically breaking down muscle and repairing it again. So that's the whole process. Now, a misconception is that you're able to increase the number of muscle fibers you have in your body, which is not true. What happens is when you break them down, they rebuild stronger, thicker, and bigger. But the amount of fibers you have in any individual muscle always remains the same. That is genetically given and does not change. So over the course of working out, you basically are breaking down the myofibers of muscle. And during the process of repair, when you're resting or sleeping, they're growing back bigger, and that's what gives you larger muscles. To break that down into an even more complex level, the rate of protein synthesis is going to have to be higher than the rate of protein breakdown, and that's when muscle growth occurs. During this process, during muscle breakdown, something that comes in called satellite cells. Now these cells come in and basically donate their parts to your actual muscle cells in order to have everything they need to repair and grow. So there have been a lot of studies done on satellite cells and determining their effect on different types of people. These are actually one of the root causes of how different everybody's genetics are and how everybody can build muscle at different rates. You have the people who compete in Olympia who are just God-given genetics. They have a high count of satellite cells. And there are some people that work very, very hard throughout their whole lives and are unable to actually grow very much. And that's a very low satellite count. The second big topic is mechanics. We've kind of understood about how the whole thing works and physiological aspects. Now, how do you do it? So, your body naturally wants to stay in a state of homeostasis. Basically stay the same, how it is. So the only way to change that is stress. Stress disrupts homeostasis. So there are three things you can do to change that, and that is going to be tension, damage, and metabolic stress. So let's break these down real quick. Tension is applying greater stress on the body than what it is used to. So when you increase the weight, when you're benching or squatting, and you keep increasing what weight you did last time or what you've ever done before, that is increasing resistance, and there in turn adding more tension onto the muscles. That is referred to as progressive overload. So in turn, adding stress to the muscles changes the chemistry, which requires more satellite cells to come help you repair that muscle. And that is the process of increasing weight over time. The next category is muscular damage. So, after you've worked out, everybody has been sore at some point. That is when you have actually broken down the muscle, which starts this whole process of repair. So, when you've targeted a particular muscle that day and you are sore for the next 24 hours or so, you have damaged that muscle, which causes kind of an immune system response. Anti-inflammatory and immunity cells will come, and that's what will start the whole process of repair, which creates muscle growth. Now the last one is metabolic stress. So have you ever been in the gym and you've got the pump? Your muscles are full, you're vascular, and you're just feeling really good? That's a metabolic stress. So basically your body responds to the damage that you've inflicted on it during resistance training. It basically cushions the muscle with glycogen to help fuel what you're doing and give that muscle energy and power to actually work out. So that's what starts to fill it up. All the cells swell with glycogen, and that's basically a metabolic response to the damage you have inflicted on that particular muscle. To sum it up, you have stress, which is what creates the muscles to grow. And then in your process of resistance training, you damage them, which forces them to rebuild larger. And then while you're in the process of working out, your body goes under a metabolic stress in which it will fuel your muscles with extra glycogen, and you get that full feeling, but you also feel the burn after you finish your repetitions. The last thing I could talk about is the hormone aspect, which is not going to be really important for your actual development. Everybody knows testosterone is the main hormone that is used for protein synthesis and all the things I've talked about, the release of satellite cells, your metabolic rate, anything that is involved in muscle repair and growth comes usually from testosterone. So everybody has different levels. Depending on how much testosterone is usable in your body is how much you will actually be able to grow. Now, the biggest misconception over this whole thing is when you're working out, you think that that is when you're growing. But that could not be more wrong. In fact, it is actually when you are resting. When you are in the gym, you are breaking down the muscle and you are putting it under incredible stress where it needs to adapt for that, for the next time. So in the time period of between the end of that workout till the next, and especially when you're sleeping, is when your muscle is actually repairing and growing, especially when you're sleeping. That's why they recommend you get a minimum of 7 to 8 hours every night, because that's when your brain releases natural growth hormone to help you actually develop more increased muscle mass. After you finish a workout, there is a 24 to 48 hour time period in which protein synthesis is going on and your metabolism is adjusting to actually repair your muscles. So that's why they say don't work out similar muscle groups in succession, or don't go to the gym 7 times a day or 7 days a week necessarily, because you have to have the rest. You have to sleep and you have to give that time period for your muscles to actually repair. Now, with that said, in that 24 to 48 hour time period, anything you eat is what is fueling. That is why diet is so critical. Anything that you're eating, any meal to your next workout, is what is going to be going to that metabolic protein process, in which will be used as fuel to rebuild the damaged muscles. In conclusion, for muscles to grow, they need to be put under stress. That is the whole premise of how you're going to build muscle from a physiological standpoint. You have to put them under stress, you have to damage them, and give them the adequate amount of time to repair. There's a little bit more science to it, obviously, but that's all you really need to know, or more than you actually need to know. But what kind of helps you get a anatomical idea of what's going on in the process and what steps you need to take. And that you have to have patience, because the whole process takes time. Nothing happens like this, and you have to keep yourself in order of operations so that nothing gets messed up or you injure yourself or any of those things. Your muscle is not, it is what it is. You can't necessarily add more of it. You just increase what you have by putting it under a lot of stress, damaging it, and then forcing your satellite cells to come in and repair it. But it's adapted to what the tension and stress you put it under. You break apart the muscle fibers and they grow back, and they just keep growing larger to accommodate for what resistance you've been putting it under. So that is the science in a very consolidated form, because to help you guys actually meet the goals I'm trying to show you, this is just something I wanted you to kind of have a little bit of a taste of, not dive deep. I'm not here to be a doctor of kinesiology. I just wanted to kind of sum up a very micro portion of the anatomical aspects of what you're doing when you're working out and in between a workout, and what happens and how important eating is. Okay, so there's another video down. I hope you guys stayed awake through it and learned something and enjoyed it. The next video, we're going to start to really get into principles. Enough of the science. We're going to really start getting into the most important things you need to know to get started, and things you need to keep in mind throughout your whole process. So these are going to be the core rules, the golden rules, the most important things you're going to need to know throughout this whole process. So big videos coming up. Thank you guys for watching. Like the Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel. I promise you we're going to keep things going and you're going to really enjoy this. Thanks again for watching. Tune in next time. We got a lot of good stuff to go.